Hey guys.
So I come bearing gifts today.
Ooh, what do we have here?
We have something very special. I heard that you guys were going on a trip.
We are. Yeah.
we are.
Where you guys headed?
Italia.
Italia. Have you guys ever been there before?
No.
Nope. First time.
Well, if that's the case, you guys are going to be drinking a lot of these
Yes.
in the coming weeks.
Love these.
So today we have Aperol Spritzes that
Smells
we made
amazing.
here. Yeah, made them from scratch. Oh, it was so much work.
It's so hard cracking open those bottles and pouring them into the cup. But it is very good and refreshing.
We're just missing some pasta.
Yes.
Pasta? I can't eat no carbs. You guys know that. Yo, I lost like 20 pounds this year.
Yes.
Almost 20 pounds.
See it all
I
on your face.
I lost it all in my face.
Yeah.
The rest of my body's so fat as hell, but
We learned real quick after the last episode what we all need to work on.
yeah. I lost some weight on my face. Can you tell?
No.
She lives with you.
You need,
so
you need to
look
look
the
at my
same.
face more.
If you lose weight on your face, you age. You get wrinkles.
So
So you tell me I gotta get
Just to
so I
don't
gotta
lose
eat
more
more,
weight.
get fat.
as you
So
age,
fat people don't get wrinkles?
As you age, if you lose weight, you become wrinkly.
I don't know if I.
She's
I
like,
don't know if
don't lose weight.
that has any scientific facts.
Yes. Older people lose weight, they're super wrinkly.
Why? Well, I know. I think just old people just get wrinkly to begin with.
No, but if
I don't
you-
think it has anything to do with
if you
being
lose
skinny
tremendous
or
amount
not.
of weight,
Unless your name is Jennifer Lopez.
She's like 60. She's
that's called
60.
Yeah.
plastic
No, she's
surgery.
50 something.
That's called
53.
work done.
she's all natural.
No.
Who else?
Money.
Who else thought that they were natural? There's no way that they were natural.
When it helps. But she also gets
Shakira is another one.
Did she definitely got work done?
No.
Has she?
Everyone's got
I
work
don't
done.
think
She looks
so.
like she was 20 something. She looks young, but that's like far away though.
Also, us Latin women age very well. Thank you very much.
It's all
So, can we
called-
give J-Lo a shout out
It's all
for
called
maintaining it?
Work done.
Well, you guys ever heard the saying like black don't crack, Asians don't raisin?
Yes.
I heard black don't crack.
Well, Asians don't raisin either.
So Ben is actually 105.
Been a wedding photographer for about 100 of those years.
I was here when they were still using those old timey cameras where everyone had to stay still for like 30 seconds to get a decent photo. Yeah, that's how old I am. I'm like Wolverine,
With
you
the
know.
cloth that goes over your face.
With a bulb on the side that just flashes.
How do we get on this subject? Oh, we were talking about carbs. Yeah, I haven't really eaten that many carbs since the new year. I've been on a health journey since the new year. So
Man, that's
like,
my weakness.
Not true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have a wife to shout you out and like put you in your
Today
place.
You ate ramen. That's not called carb.
I had ramen.
It's like super
All
No, no,
carbs
no, no.
except ramen.
No. Well,
today, yesterday, day before that.
no. That's my carb. That's part of my carb like allowance. Like I'm allowed to have
Yeah,
some
so
carbs. So that's
okay.
my carbs for the day.
Okay,
That's
so
my
you
ramen.
did have carbs.
No, but it's very limited carbs. Like I can't be eating like a whole bowl of pasta every day. Like I
Yeah,
haven't eaten
but-
rice. I don't really eat that much bread.
Okay,
I love bread. That's my weakness. Bagels,
Bread, yeah.
any type of bread.
Like pizza.
I can't stay. Oh, pizza. I was making pizza at home the other day again.
Oh my God. Same thing. We're getting our pool bodies ready for the summer with all the pizza we're eating.
So we can float easier.
But you guys,
After Italy.
Exactly. So
but didn't you guys just install or purchase like a pizza oven?
Yeah.
yeah,
an
that's what we're
uni.
doing at
Yeah.
Uni. at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna help.
Exactly. That's literally what I'm saying. We're getting our beach bodies ready. It's just a nice little
Makes you guys a little
round
bit more buoyant. I
Yes,
guess.
exactly.
Yep. We can't drown if we're big. If we're swollen.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, should we get to the podcast?
Yeah.
right, guys,
do it.
welcome to Focused AF.
I'm Jen.
I'm Ro.
I'm Ben.
Karis.
All right, go ahead. Let's try that again.
Let's go this way.
I like that intro. That's cute.
Okay, fine. Whatever. We'll keep it. All right, let's get into it. Next
All
bit.
right.
All right.
So today,
What are we doing today?
we're interviewing Ben and Karis. We wanted everyone to know a little bit more about the two couples that make up this podcast. And the lovely Mr. and Mrs. Lau are going first.
Okay, I'm ready. Are you ready?
I guess.
Yeah, I feel like I'm being interrogated.
Maybe not.
Is this like an interrogation?
10 minutes.
We have 10 minutes to get all that we can
Just to
about
give you
their
guys, just to
histories.
give you guys a little bit of context, right? We normally have our live-in babysitters, basically, AKA Karis's parents. They help us with the babysitting situation, but they are out of town for the next month, so we've got to pull double duty right now. So Karis has got to take the kids out to do some activities. Yeah,
But that's real life. That's
just
being a working mom and
working parents.
having to do what you got to do. So we'll get what we can out of Karis before she has to.
So,
Dip out.
yeah, so she's going to have to bounce in a little bit. So let's get to these questions.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
So first up, who were Ben and Karis before they were Ben and Karis? So give us a little bit about what you guys did before you met each other. Karis, you go first.
Is she just talking about herself or talking about me
herself.
too? Oh, okay.
Before photography?
Before you met Ben.
Ben.
She was happy.
Yeah. Happy, wealthy,
She had more money.
living the life.
That's pretty
I
funny.
have graphic design background since high school, I guess. And then I went to art school in New York. And yeah, I was in graphic design, doing graphic design work and design.
Love it.
Is that why you love fashion as well?
Fashion. Yeah, I just like fashion
It just fell into place with all the
Yeah.
art stuff.
since
Nice.
forever.
Tell them about the company that you work for right before you made the leap to photography.
D3 Big?
No, the one after that. Right before photography. Where were you working?
Oh, chicken.
Did you guys know that?
Yeah. No. So is
Wait,
that
so both of you were
Work for
chicken
chickens.
people.
We're in the chicken industry.
okay? So that goes into your background. You guys you told us a little bit in the last episode about the chicken
Yeah,
world.
but we're not done with Karis yet. Do you guys have any more line of questioning for her?
No, I just want to get an idea of what
Yeah.
she was
Of-
doing
of
before
each
that,
of you,
and
yeah.
before she met you, and
Yeah, she was happier, much happier. Yeah,
Happier.
and then so did your. Before you met her, you were in the chicken world too.
I was in the chicken business for a few years. Yeah,
Okay.
it was a family business. It wasn't like I'm going to go through 5 years of college. I'm going to graduate and get into the chicken industry. It was a family business. I was on a break. Prior to that, I was in the financial services industry, and I was doing that for 7-8 years. I got into middle management, did really well until I wasn't. And then I met my wife, and I met her on a Friday.
Tell us how you met.
I put in my 2 weeks that Monday, and I quit my job at in finance. And
Went full-time chicken.
you could say that,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, full-time chicken.
Wait, so did you bring him into the? You didn't bring him into the chicken
No.
thing, but
No. So
it's
I was
different companies.
Yeah, I was
Right.
in chicken franchise companies. I was like designing, and yeah, Ben was in like chicken.
Like the real deal.
Dealing with the
Like,
actual
like,
chickens.
Like if you guys think about like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory,
yeah.
swap out the chocolate for chicken. Like that's how much chicken I was dealing with. All right, like I was swimming in chicken, like 60,000 pounds a day. Chicken.
So definitely not Breaking Bad type chicken stores.
Yeah, we could have, but I don't think we did. We probably had the ability to do that, but we had like USDA coming in all the time. We had like 80. No, nothing like that.
So your worlds didn't collide in the chicken world.
No, we did not.
How did your worlds
No.
collide?
You want me to tell the story?
Yes.
All right. So we were both in Philadelphia for a work function. We were both single, and she was at the hotel bar. I have a feeling she was putting herself out as bait, So,
We'll
So-
keep up those vibes.
attractive girl by herself at the bar. Anyway, I needed a break from my event, so I was going to the bar, and she ordered a drink. Oh, actually, let me rewind a little bit. She's like, "Oh, what's good here? What should I order here?" I was like, "It's a fucking hotel bar. What do you expect from a hotel bar, right? Everything's good, I guess, right?" And she ordered it, and I guess she waited a little bit for me to pay her for her drink. I was like, I'm not playing that game. Listen, honey, this is how it's gonna work, honey. No, I'm kidding. No, I didn't say that. But anyway, I was like, listen.
Poor. I tell you, poor. Poor living.
Are you gonna live? Are you gonna survive, Jen?
Drink.
So I was like, listen, honey, this is how it's gonna work.
Oh,
no, I'm kidding. No, I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that.
I would have just like walked away.
Cheap.
I was hella cheap. No, actually,
I didn't even pay for my drink.
I was like thinking to myself, well, I'm not going to be another schmuck who's just going to like pay for a drink and like I'm not going to play that game, right? So I was like, listen, this is what I can offer you instead of a drink tonight. Why don't I show you around town? Mm-hmm. You're clearly not from around here, and that was that. I could have kidnapped her, but she decided that I was safe enough to hang out with. But here's the funny thing, right? So I was legit broke. I mean, I'm a little less broke these days, but I was hella broke when we met. And like while we were, when we first met, like I would disappear every 20 minutes to feed the meter because I didn't have enough money to park in the garage, or I didn't want to pay to park in the garage. So I would like disappear every 30 minutes to feed the meter with quarters and stuff, just so I could save, I don't know.
Did he tell you where he was going?
No. So I would just disappear every 20 minutes. Hey, I'll be right back. And then I would just like run off.
Where did you find all the quarters?
I had quarters in the car.
If you know Ben, he has like coin jars in every car, everywhere.
Why would you tell people that? People are going to go to my car and rob me.
They're going to steal your quarters.
Yes. It's not just quarters. It's just coins.
Yo, like, don't you guys have coins?
I do.
Yeah. What's wrong with having coins?
I don't.
I learned my lesson.
Because you park in the garage because you're fancy like that,
We like convenience.
Wealthy life before you, like I said.
Her car was in the garage that night.
Yeah, her car was in the garage that night. I was in street parking. I was like, it's street parking until like whatever time. Then it's free after that, right? So why do I got to pay the garage? You know what I mean? So she didn't think that was too weird, right? So anyway, that was a Friday, and we hung out all weekend. And then on Monday, I put my 2 weeks in. I was like, it's game over for me. I can't have this finance career and have this woman at the same time. So I had to give up one or the other. So.
And then you were in Maryland.
I was in Maryland at the time.
That? Yeah, he was in Maryland.
Oh, so wait, so why did you give up the finance career?
Yeah,
I was in Jersey.
She was in Jersey.
She was up here, okay.
She was in Jersey. I was in Maryland. We met in Philadelphia. And so after I quit, I moved in with my uncle up here in North Jersey, in Metuchen, to work at the chicken factory.
Metuchen, very close to us.
Very, very close.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, that chicken factory was in Philadelphia for a while. And I was making the 1.5-hour commute every single day.
Look at all the
just so that I could be up here. Yeah. She doesn't know. You know what? She used to be, she used to be really sweet.
No option.
She used to wake up like at 5 o'clock in the morning, like make me breakfast, make me lunch and stuff. So I'll go off to work at 5:30 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning. I'd be lucky if she gets out of the bed these days after 10.
Yeah.
I get the same treatment.
She's put in all the work before. Hello.
I get the same
no
treatment.
Kids, not working like slave right now.
She used to be so sweet, She used to wake up early in the morning, make me breakfast.
After you've been together for so long, there's no more of that.
Vice versa, yeah.
Where's the love? You know what I mean?
Where is the love? Where?
We'll sacrifice it all when we first get together.
But anyway, so I was at a chicken factory for about a year, and then they moved locations up to up here in North Jersey. So that commute was way easier, like 20 minutes. So that everything worked out. The rest is history.
And then you guys started your business or had kids first?
Around
they happened the same time.
Yep, around the same time.
She might have been pregnant.
So things are moving along quickly now.
She might have been pregnant around the same time we started the business. January 2010 was when we shot our first wedding. And Aiden was born in July 2010. So she was already pregnant. She was 2 months pregnant.
Wow.
She was 2 months pregnant when we started.
Yeah, Ben wasted no time.
No, we were married for 2 years before we started.
Oh, okay.
We were
I thought it
engaged
just
for 2
everything.
years. Yeah, we had a long engagement.
Yeah, we're speeding. It sounds like you guys
just
left
like,
Maryland.
No.
Quit your job.
Well, that part was quick. That part was quick because I left my job that Monday, and then 3 months later I moved in. 3 months later after that I proposed. So 6 months after I met her I proposed. And then we had an 18-month engagement. Because I was poor. Remember, I was poor. So we were
He was
eating
saving all the coins in the car.
all the coins in the car. I think Karis was eating 1 egg a day.
Like
1 egg, maybe 2 eggs if we were doing really well, And at that time, we were living in the attic of my in-laws' house.
Oh my gosh,
So
that's so funny.
we were living in the attic, 1 bedroom attic. We were there for a very long time. Even after Aiden was born, we were still upstairs on that in that attic.
We were the opposite of you guys. At least you guys had like above the ground level. We were
You guys are
in the basement.
under the earth.
Yeah.
We were
Underground.
in the penthouse.
Did you guys have windows at least?
No, it was like those
I mean,
little square.
tiny windows.
There was windows, but like you couldn't get any light from there.
Yeah.
There was a lot
Like
of
a half
weeds. There
windows.
were a lot
Yeah.
of weeds growing in the windows.
So you guys were a little higher up than us level.
If you want to, I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, if you look back on those days,
Oh my
like
God,
I think there was a bathroom there that wasn't supposed to be there. It didn't look like it was
No,
permanent.
it was there, but I think we put in on the top there or something.
It doesn't. It didn't look quite right because the thing is, you couldn't stand in that
Yeah,
tub.
it's like not a full like height kind of thing. So you kind of have to crouch.
Watch your head when you come in.
It was really weird. It was really, really weird. You had to shower
Maybe
crouching.
it wasn't a standing shower. It was a tub, like an old style tub.
It was never meant to be a shower, but we installed a shower head in there.
Oh,
We
okay, so you're
installed
like,
a standing shower.
yeah.
It was the dumbest thing ever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Mr.
behind us now.
Moon.
Mr. Moon. It's like, why would you put a shower there? You can't even stand. You have to crouch the whole time. So you basically have to squat in the bathtub to shower yourself. That's,
Appreciate it, okay?
yeah,
Okay,
whatever.
Where's the
Gave you those
appreciation?
thunder thighs,
So
nice
this was
butt.
at your in-laws.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Karis's
my
parents.
parents.
Okay.
in Bergen County.
Yeah, so after I proposed, I moved in. Actually, no, that's a lie. I moved in before that.
So you guys got married and we're still living there.
Yeah.
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 We've always lived with her in-law, with
Yeah.
my in-laws.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we moved out here to Plainfield, and they came with us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was that after you started after you had the first son?
Yeah, both our kids were born.
Oh, okay.
The little one was 2 when we came here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So things are happening. A little bit of money's coming in. You buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that.
In what way? What do you guys want to know?
What led you to Plainfield?
We couldn't afford Bergen County. That's the truth. We couldn't afford any. We had some money, but we weren't like rolling in the door or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were busy. 2014, we were busy.
Okay,
right?
so you were like 4 years into the business.
Yeah.
But let's go back real quick. How did you guys start? Who came up with the idea of like, oh, we're going to shoot weddings?
No, we didn't come up with that. It just happened by itself.
Yeah. So Ben was that person at everyone's weddings and parties that brings
His
a
own
big,
camera?
Yeah, big
Uncle Bob.
phone camera.
I was Uncle
Yes,
Bob, but I was
yes,
Uncle Ben.
Yes. Yep.
And I make rice.
Yes, he was that person.
Uncle Ben.
Yep. And then, the friend that takes all the food photos and yep, that was Ben.
I was a really bad Uncle Bob, and I want to
Yep.
take this moment to apologize to all the professional photographers. I remember standing. I remember this because I'm pretty sure I pissed off this guy. He was taking pictures of the first dance, and I was like, all right, I'll just stay out of his way. So I crouched in front of him, right? But the thing was, I was bouncing my flash, right?
Right in his face.
Right into his face. But I didn't realize it. And oh my God, I'm so sorry. Whoever you are out there, if you're listening, I don't even think he knows my name, so it's okay.
You're fine.
If,
Yeah, I
if
was
he ever
anonymous.
listens, he could come get the files from you as well and deliver them.
Yeah, that was like over 10 years ago.
And you guys were shooting together right away?
So
No.
Ben went full time first.
For about like a couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it.
You guys dove head
Yeah.
first.
Yeah,
right
because
away.
she didn't know if this was going to work out or not. She's like, yo, I'm the one with the art degree. Like, why are you going into photography? And so nobody,
Not really, but
nobody thought that this thing was going to.
yeah,
pan out.
everyone was worried. Our
'Cause-
parents were worried.
Oh, yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
Winter was coming.
We had a baby
They're
on the
like,
way.
Yeah, we had a baby, second baby on the way, or
Like, what are
first
they
baby.
doing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell are you guys
they're
doing?
like, nope.
Yeah.
Wait until the winter's over.
Yeah. the scarce season.
Then you can do whatever you want.
Well, no. Well, actually, I shot my first wedding in 2010, January 2010. I did it as a favor for a friend. A friend of mine from college who was getting married. Her photographer took the final balance and skipped town. So a week before her wedding, she had no wedding photographer. And she's like, yo, Ben, I'm so sorry. I apologize that you weren't invited to my wedding originally, but I guess you are now. You seem to know your way around a camera. Would you mind bringing your camera? Help a sister out? And I was like, that's fine. Just cover my gas, feed me. I think we're good.
I feel like
That was our
2010 was the year of photographers stealing people's money.
It was happening. Yes,
because
yes,
that's
yes.
how we got into it.
Mhm.
Same year as well.
Yeah.
Someone bailed on a
Friend from high school,
high school
friend
friend
of
of Jen's.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what's going on with 2010? Everyone's just skipping
That's how
town
we all
with people's
started.
money.
It was happening.
So that leads to one of the questions that we had: how much you were paid for your first wedding?
Yes.
$600.
$600.
So she paid you $600.
Actually,
That's pretty good.
she paid.
travel. Or was that
That's including everything.
Okay.
$600 full day coverage, 2 photographers, all the files. I mean, giving her prints too.
Everything.
So I
Ben likes to give things away.
I don't know if I made money on that, but whatever. And you know what? Oh, it was a fucking nightmare. There's a picture of me online somewhere where I'm popping a squat because I'm about to shit my pants. You know, like it was. I wasn't a professional photographer. I knew my way around a camera, but like it was on my terms. You know, when you're shooting on vacation and stuff, you can take your time, you can make mistakes, whatever. This is somebody's wedding, and the thing was, let me give you a little backstory. Karis and I, our wedding photos were not that great. Right. And I think you guys have a similar story too.
Seen that.
Right.
Yeah.
Ours are bad too.
So like, I don't want people to be furious when they see our photos. So I was like, listen, you don't just cover the bare minimum and we're good. Okay. And I didn't want to go into wedding photography. Honestly, I didn't want to go into wedding photography. We didn't want to go into wedding photography because like, these are people's, there's a big liability.
There was also a bad perception of wedding photographers
back then, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're still there. It's gotten a little bit less, how can I say, like, people not judge you for being a photographer, but you were like looked down upon for being a wedding
like,
photographer.
like artists.
You're
like, how are you gonna make a living?
Yeah. And now, like, I guess in today's world, how there's so many photographers out there.
It's a little more glamorous.
Yeah, I feel like people are starting to be aware of how much money you can make as a photographer.
And I think social media, like
you get to travel,
that helps. Yep.
you get to look,
sharing,
be around all this pretty stuff. You know,
Yep.
we can talk about that. I don't know. We can talk about that today, or you can talk about it another time.
Another time.
I was just going off topic a little bit to throw it out there.
I'm gonna have to go.
All right.
All right. I'll fill in. I'll fill in the blanks.
Bye, Mom.
I will fill in the blanks. Don't worry. I will do us proud. So 2010, we shot our first wedding and we stayed out on the radar for about a year and a half. Just photographing families. For the first year and a half, I was like, I didn't want to shoot weddings. I just want to shoot families, maternity, newborns, anything but weddings because it was just too big of a liability.
Pressure.
A lot of pressure. You know, so I was like, I just need to get better at this. I knew my way around the camera, but like, I didn't feel like I deserved to be a wedding photographer. After about a year and a half, at that point, I was working 2 jobs. I was at the chicken factory Monday to Friday.
And being a photographer?
And a photographer on the weekends. So Monday to Friday, I would be at the chicken factory 6:30 to 3 o'clock every day. And then I would go home, edit till midnight, and rinse and repeat Monday to Thursday, right?
Oh my gosh.
Because Friday nights, my pregnant wife would drive me into the city. And that way I could catch a megabus
back to
Maryland. Because I don't have a network up here. I don't know anybody up here. My family's here, but that's not who I'm shooting. My friends are all down in Maryland. So that's what I did. I was in Maryland every weekend. But listen, at the chicken factory, I was only paid maybe about, I don't know, $500 a week. I was making that with 2 sessions.
Yeah.
And I was shooting 3 to 4 sessions every weekend. I was like, holy shit, I'm making like $750, $1,000 every weekend. Like, why am I still at the chicken factory?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I kept hustling. I was like, you know what? I still got to get better. And I did this song and dance for about, I don't know, maybe about 6 more months, right? And I kept telling my wife, I was like, I think we're onto something. We're onto something. Maybe we should give it a shot. She's like, no, we have a second kid on the way. You're going to suffer.
Surprise.
You're going to suffer, all right? You cannot quit. And then I was like, all right, fine. So I kept suffering and I kept the hustle. And one day I came downstairs for breakfast with a nosebleed that wouldn't stop. That nosebleed went on for like an hour.
Oh no.
I was exhausted.
Stress, exhaustion.
I was exhausted. Like you wouldn't know, right? She said, okay, fine, you can quit. So that morning, I went to work after the nosebleed stopped. Once the bleeding stopped, I went to work. I was like, yo, I gotta.
You're like, I'm physically dying here.
I'm putting my 2 weeks in. And you know what? Not to poo-poo on the company or anything like that. I mean, like I hadn't gotten a raise in like 5 years. And the morning I went in to put in my 2 weeks, oh yeah, by the way, Ben, I think we should give you a raise. I was like, I'm putting my 2 weeks anyway. I'm out of here.
Too late.
even if they had to give me a raise, it wouldn't have replaced the income that I was able to earn on the weekends. Right?
They couldn't match that, I'm sure.
There's no way they would have matched that.
Yeah.
No way.
The freedom is just...
And the flexibility. Because I was making that Because how long are these family sessions? An hour, 2 hours?
If that.
You know?
I mean, yeah.
Hour, 2 hours. I was making more shooting for 4 hours than I was working 40 hours a week. Thinking about it that way.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, the math just makes more sense for me to go on my own.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I was like, I'm only shooting on the weekends. Imagine if I could shoot during the week. Do you know how much money I would be able to make?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not making $500 a week.
Yeah.
You know? But listen, this is not to poo-poo on my previous employer. I mean, I didn't burn any bridges there. I still have good relationships with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great learning experience. A lot of that stuff that I learned there, believe it or not, I bring into my current business. So I don't believe that there are necessarily like, yeah, there are bad experiences, but they're all learning opportunities.
Yeah.
You know,
But also, like, for example, if you were working in a job that was paying you triple the amount of money, you probably would not have the motivation to work on your business and then build the business to leave. The fact that you were making a minimum amount of money led you to...
No, that wasn't it. The money wasn't the thing. I don't do things for money. I mean, the money's, listen, like I'm in business to make money to support my family, right? But the money has never, like, for most of our lives together as a husband and wife, it's never been a motivating factor for us, for our decisions in life. Okay. Because I mean, we were living in a 1-bedroom attic for, like, I don't know, 7-8 years. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The main reason why I branched off to start my own thing was because it was a family business. My dad was one of the partners. He's like, listen, son, you know, one of these days, you two can be the king of chicken of all of northern New Jersey. I was like, you know what, Dad? I'm going to figure something else out, you know? Because there's a number of things that I know about me, right? That I know that I have my very strong opinions on how to do things. And unless I'm calling the shots, I'm not going to be a very good employee or even a very good manager. I need to be able to call the shots.
Your personality.
Right. Just the way that my brain works, right? So if I feel like there's a better way to do something and you're stopping me from doing that, right? I'm not going to be very happy.
Yeah, you can't do that in working for someone or in a corporate environment.
I'm a terrible employee. I'm an okay manager, but like I am a terrible employee, right? In that way. Even if I were to take over for my dad, I would still have to work with partners, right? You know, I don't mind compromising, but like, listen, if I feel very strongly there's a better way to do something and I'm not able to do that, I'm not in my comfort zone. You know, and I don't want to operate with this chip on my shoulder or anything like that. You know what I mean?
It's a good way to approach life. I feel like a lot of people get stuck and don't take that leap because they're afraid of what, you know, of just having that stable job, or they're afraid of what their family might say about them if they leave. Same way, like you said earlier, your in-laws were like, well, you know, maybe you should wait till the winter, you know? Like I always envy people that can do that. And I also envy people that can just get up and move to a different state or another part of the world. They're just like, you know what? I don't want to live here anymore. I'm just going to go here. So it's a good quality to have. I feel like a lot of people lack that quality to know what their strengths are.
Yeah. I know that, at least on my end, like I know that my strength is I'm just a scrappy motherfucker, you know, like I'm just a survivor. No, I'm a survivor. You put me in the middle of somewhere, I will survive. Karis is also, she shares that quality with me as well. You put us anywhere, we will survive. We'll figure it out. We'll make things happen.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, before photography and the last couple of months while we were, or even the last year or two, you know, at the end of our corporate careers, so to speak, we had tried our hands at different things, you know, starting our own businesses. I don't know if you guys know this. Karis wanted to be a florist.
Nope.
She was going to inherit a flower shop in Columbus Circle in New York City. That fell through, right? But she was going to like floral school or whatever it is. She was learning how to do all this shit, right? Karis wanted to open a bakery. So we bought like 1,000 cupcake boxes. Do you know how many customers we got? 3.
So you have 997 boxes left.
They're somewhere in our basement, right? And she bought all this flour, all this sugar, all this stuff, right? I'm like, oh my God. So I was very supportive. I was like, babe, whatever you want to do, you want to follow your dreams to be a baker. Let's go do it. And she was really good, right?
Yeah.
But the thing was, she put so much time and effort into her thing because it's hers, right? She has a sense of like, I guess a little sense of ownership in it.
Yeah.
So she would work all day for a dozen cupcakes, and she charged like $24 for the whole damn thing.
Oh, I was like, babe, 12 hours.
I was like, the boxes alone cost us $5, right? We are already like,
we're under.
And I gotta hand deliver this shit, right? Like, we are not making any money. You're working all day for like $15. I was like, I think we, should stay at the chicken factory if that's the case. But anyway, she was doing that, and I was doing the photography thing on the side as well, right? The thing that put a fire under my ass, right? We had a business plan to open up a pho and banh mi shop. You've had pho before, but you haven't had banh mi?
No.
It's a Vietnamese sandwich, right?
It sounds familiar actually. Now that
Yeah,
it's
I don't know if you guys follow me on social. That sandwich that I showed, right?
Yeah.
It's that.
I remember now.
It's very, very delicious, right? So I got really good at making the soup. I got really good at making the sandwiches. And we were so close to getting this spot down in Johns Hopkins.
Where's that at?
Johns Hopkins University is down in Baltimore. Right.
Okay.
We found this retail space. It was within our budget and I was trying to get a loan. So this is what I would do. Like after the chicken factory, I would get out of my work clothes from the chicken factory, get into a suit and go to banks with a business plan.
You show up with a little briefcase?
A padfolio, close enough, right? With my business plan. And this business plan was reviewed and like, I wouldn't say approved, but they're like by the SBA, right? The SBA is like, yo, this is a bomb ass awesome business plan. I got projections. I got my marketing research. I got everything. I know what I'm doing, right? And I didn't really need that much money. But the thing was, I wanted to do everything by myself. I didn't want my dad's help. I didn't want a handout. I wanted to do everything myself. And that's part of the reason why I didn't want to stay at the chicken factory. I wanted to earn it. I was like, listen, Dad, you worked for 20, 30 years at this company. You built this to what it is. This is not mine. It will never be mine. This is yours. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's part of the other reason why I left. So when my dad retired right before COVID, thank God he did. He retired right before COVID, sold his shares. He was out, right? Mm-hmm. And he's enjoying in retirement now, right? Nice. But that's the future that I wanted for him. I didn't want a piece of that because if I took over for him, like I don't know if he gets anything. But I don't know what the arrangements were, right? But it's not mine. That's the thing,
right?
This photography business is mine.
It's yours. Mm-hmm.
For some people, that's important. Some people, it's not. For me, that was super important. So the restaurant, I went to 50 banks in 30 days, guys.
Damn.
50 banks.
And not one gave you a loan?
Not one of them gave me a loan.
For what reason?
They said that I was too young. I was 28, 29. My credit was not that, it was okay. I did some really stupid shit when I was in my early 20s, but I think a lot of us did.
Like,
right?
No,
but it was still on the record. You're still on the record, right? Karis' record wasn't that much better either. She bought, like, her ex-boyfriend bought a dog for like $2,000, didn't pay it. And she didn't even get to keep the dog, right? I was like, that's messed up, right? So I was like, yo, your ex-boyfriend like screwed you over, man.
He's a casualty of war.
Right? So like, I couldn't get a loan. My credit wasn't good enough. And they wanted collateral.
I was going to say that, you know, if you would have like some property, they probably would have.
Actually, no. We had property. My family has property, and my parents were like, "Yeah, we'll sign it over as collateral."
But we believe in you. Yeah. You didn't want to involve them.
Well, I was like, "Well, I just need a loan, Mom and Dad, right?" So I didn't want to borrow the money, but I was like, "Listen, this business is going to work, all right?" So they just needed collateral. So we had buildings that exceeded the value of the loan. I didn't need that much money. I needed like maybe $100,000 just to get started. Okay. They wouldn't loan me $100,000. So I was like, bank, what do I need in order to borrow $100,000? You need $100,000 in cash. We can collateralize that. And I was like, motherfucker, you know, if I had if I have $100,000 of cash, I don't need your help.
$100,000.
What is the point?
So I was like, screw you guys, right? So ever since then, you know, like if there's an opportunity for me to not have to go to a bank or use a bank, it's not happening.
But that was a sign, no? That
was a sign like,
this is not for you. This business is not, well, I couldn't consider it divine intervention.
Divine intervention that I did, that you shouldn't have gone into the restaurant business. Yeah. I think we would have done fine, but
it wasn't meant for you though.
It wasn't meant for me.
It's never too late. You know, you're still young. You could probably do this in the future.
I'm happy where I am. Thank you.
I think he was.
You can make sandwiches.
Brought on better on a different
Listen,
path.
I make drinks for you guys, so I mean, I think that's pretty good, right?
Really good drinks too.
Yeah.
Just in case if we have any listeners.
You guys have been drinking my drinks for like 7 years, guys. Yeah, we didn't ask for any help or anything like that. I guess the only help that we got was that I had a rent control apartment.
Paying $50 a month.
Oh no! Well, no. We still paid like decent rent. We paid like $1,000 a month for rent. You know, it's not little money. It was a nice chunk of money. But at the very least, the business that we had started at that point, we were net positive. We weren't in the hole. So in that way, I guess it was kind of a blessing that we didn't get into the restaurant business because every month you have overhead, you have labor, you have materials, you have all that stuff, right?
It's a lot.
With photography, there's no overhead. So I guess that's one of the blessings.
Just subscriptions.
I didn't start getting subscriptions until I met you guys.
Yeah. I refuse to pay anything monthly. Like, it's not a thing.
It's a scam. That's why, I was like, I'll pay the perpetual license. It's more expensive, sir. Yeah, I don't care. Like, at the very least, 10 years from now, I know I still won't be paying you. You know what I mean? I think I was on Lightroom 4 till 2 years ago.
When they basically stopped supporting it.
They had no choice.
It was obsolete.
My editors hated that. Like, Ben, can we just get the subscription? It's only like $15 a month. I was like, no. As a matter of principle, I do not want to give them any more money. But in any case, I didn't have aside from my gear. I mean, once you have all the lenses that you need, how much more do you need?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's definitely a very inexpensive business to get into.
It's inexpensive. I mean, there was at least $20,000 a gear.
Well, it's one of the jobs or careers that you can get into where it's a lot easier to get into as opposed to like an electrician that needs a van and tools or a plumber. So,
I suppose. But these are just tools of the trade, though.
Yeah.
These are your tools that you need for work.
Mm-hmm.
So I was shooting families every weekend, right? And then I made the leap into photography. And when I quit my day job, I had 3 weddings on the books.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty risky, but I had a lot of family sessions lined up. So I was like, you know what? We're going to survive. I was shooting families out in DC, right? I continued to do that. I'll tell you what the turning point was in our career. I was coming up around the same time as some of my other friends in this wedding photography business or this professional photography business. And she had a family session out in Long Island that she didn't want to shoot. She's like, yo, if I shoot this session, I'm going to go negative because it's so far. And I don't even think they want to pay that much. And I was like, I'll do it. How much are they paying? Like $250. I was like, I'll take it. Right. So to go from New Jersey to Long Island,
$250 right there.
to shoot this 1-year-old birthday party in the middle of Long Island. It was at a pizza parlor. Yes, I shot it for $250. And for that $250, they got prints. They got black and white and color prints. I delivered it to their homes. They got everything. But you know what? There were 40 guests. I remember this. There were 40 guests at this birthday party. And what I ended up doing was I shot all of those families.
Nice.
That summer. So out of $250, I made $3,000 that summer.
Yeah.
Worth the investment and the time.
There's a lot of people that will refuse to do it. They won't even leave their house while they're trying to build their business. And it's one of the things where I find it mind-boggling that a lot of people will refuse to do like these small jobs because they feel that they're inferior or...
Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. Actually, I had this conversation right before we started recording today with another friend of ours. And one of the things that we talked about, and we agree about this, and I think you guys probably agree with me on this too. A lot of times, a lot of people, they get in the way of their own success. Their egos get in the way of their own success. They believe that they're worth a certain dollar amount and they won't take any amount less than that.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, listen, you can tell the whole world that you're a $5,000 photographer, but it means nothing if you're not booking anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would much rather, like if the market believes that I'm worth $4,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm booking, let's say 30, 40 weddings a year at $4,000 and I bump it up to $5,000, I'm getting nothing. I like that doesn't mean anything to me. You know what I mean? I'm okay swallowing my pride a little bit because the thing is I got mouths to feed. I got to put food on the table. I got to do what's right for my family. You know what I mean? I can't have my ego be in the way of that.
Mm-hmm.
What, like why would I want to like, just for my ego, like just tell everyone that I'm a $10,000 wedding photographer. There's so many. I don't know. Is this appropriate to talk about this on this episode?
There's a lot to dive into.
Yeah,
But
we'll hold that for another one.
We'll hold that for another episode, right? But in any case, I was like, you know what? I'm cool with that. $250, I'll shoot it because like otherwise, what else was I doing that weekend? You know? If
other than nothing.
If I weren't shooting that, I would be making $0 that weekend.
Yep.
Right? At the very least, with this $250, I could cover my gas, my tolls, my parking, whatever it is. I wouldn't come out empty-handed.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, I got the opportunity to meet with other folks, network with other folks. I'm trying to start a business here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you do whatever you can when you first start out. Like
I don't think there are enough people in this day and age that do that. They're okay with doing that.
The opportunity to get in front of other people is priceless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. So that was a turning point in my career. Like I shot like a bajillion families that summer, made so many connections. And that's when I started doing weddings. Actually, my wedding how I started shooting weddings. This is a funny story, right? So don't judge me, okay? So there are a lot of Latin people in my life. There's a lot of quinceañeras in my life.
You don't say.
If you need a photographer for your quince, BenLauPhotography.com or BenLau.com.
BenitoLopez.com. So I had this young girl. She just celebrated her 15th birthday. I was like, that kind of looks like a wedding dress. Let's make it black and white.
No. And that's what you sold your wedding work on?
I was like, look, it's a big fluffy dress. It's a black and white young lady. You know,
This is a bride.
The bridal portrait.
She'll be a bride one day.
she's wearing a tiara. It's pretty close, right?
That's better than we tried to sell a wedding once with a maternity album. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
were
We
much
would-
better than
I was
us.
much closer, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Actually, funny thing, it was my brother-in-law's maternity album. When he was pregnant, when his wife was pregnant with the second baby, we made an album, and that's what we took around to try and book weddings
Yeah,
with.
we're like, listen, so hire us for your wedding.
I don't have any wedding portfolio to show you, but
but here's the quality of the work.
oh, you want to? I need to hear about your presentations, but let me show you how I presented when I first started, right? Keep in mind, I'm living in the attic of my in-laws' house, right? So we didn't have a place to meet. The fanciest place that I would meet is probably like a Panera Bread or something like that.
Yep,
I would,
same.
I would meet people at Panera Bread.
That was the office for us.
The Barnes and Nobles over at Menlo. I used to meet a lot of folks there. Me and like two other photographers. We were like just be right next to each other.
That would be
right?
the best. We go stare and you see other meetings happening, and you're looking at their work on their laptop like,
Yeah, they're all right,
what
right?
are you doing?
Starbucks is not a spot.
I remember I would go into the city every other weekend. After I got off my job at the chicken factory, I would go into the city and I would lose money on some of these nights because I would get stood up.
Mm-hmm.
I would take the 1 hour drive into the city, get stood up, drive back empty handed, right? So that sucked. But thankfully, I mean, like I had enough hustle and enough inquiries to kind of sustain me, right? But like that was a rough time. But in any case, I would go out to these meetings with a sample album. That wasn't even all that good. I think I have it around here somewhere. It's terrible. The only reason why I keep it is for sentimental reasons, because this is like the one album that I brought around everywhere I went around the city. I also had a box of prints that I got from Costco, right?
Oh no!
And I was like, hey, this is my portfolio. But oh my God, it was so bad. But listen, that's how I built my business.
Yeah.
Just like going out there, showing off this okay work.
all the humble beginnings and the
Right.
drive and the
when there's no choice to fail, that's what the thing that you do.
Failure was not an option for me. I had I had a second kid. Second kid was on the way. I had no option whatsoever. So anyway, I'm doing this for a couple months, and I went from 3 weddings when I quit to 43 weddings by that December. I booked 40 weddings in 6 months.
nice.
That's
And
awesome.
I was like, holy shit. Like my training back when I was doing financial sales and stuff, it's working in this industry too, right? I was like, wow, I can't believe it's working. So that's when my wife was like, you know what? Maybe I don't want to work for this chicken company either. So I quit too.
She's like, Ben Lau, you're making money now.
My husband's in
photos
his
hiring.
my husband is working in his gym shorts and a wife beater every single day. It sounds like a pretty good gig to me.
So that's when she came on?
That's when she came on board. About 6 months after I quit, she quit her job too. And we had a second kid on the way, and she quit her job too. So there's that. But you know what? With 40,
What were the in-laws thinking throughout this whole process?
well,
now?
I booked 40 weddings. So what's 40 retainers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 40 grand.
Mm-hmm.
That's more money than I made an entire year.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's more money to come. That's just my retainer. You know what I mean?
That's that nice moment of like proving you wrong.
I was like,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna be.
We
I think
all
we're gonna
have
be
a
okay
moment.
this winter. I think we're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
There's more money that I remain.
Yeah.
We can park in the parking lot this time.
We can park in the parking garage.
Not the meter.
We don't have to pay the meter anymore.
we done made it.
For this year, we've made it. And then after you guys did the 40, when did you guys start thinking, all right, time to do an associate brand?
So, fun fact: even when Karis quit her job, she only shot with me for a brief while because you guys got to remember, Karis came from a graphic design background, so the editing part was kind of her jam. She was able to do a lot quicker than I could. That's what she did. So I would go out and shoot and do all the sales meetings and all. Actually, we used to tag team the meetings.
You split up?
No. We both show up to the meetings, like how you guys do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
we still do it that way.
No, we don't do it anymore. Karis stopped doing that a long time ago.
She's like, it's hey Karis now.
Yeah. No. Even before that, like she hasn't done a sales call with me in a long. She's like, why do I gotta be here? I don't need to be here. You doing all the talking anyway. So she couldn't shoot with me for those first 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I needed a second shooter.
Mhm.
Okay. So I had all these people help me out while she was out busy being pregnant. So the first crew was my brother and MJ, who's still with us to this day. When my wife came back to work, I wasn't going to kick them out into the curb. That's the wrong move. You don't do that to people. They helped you out for 2 years.
Yeah.
Right. And they hustled with me 30, 40 weddings a year. I was like, you know what? I have extra work, because I was at a point where I had overage, right? Like there were dates that I couldn't take. I was unavailable for it. So I was like, listen, I have some extra work. I know this is not your full-time gig, but if you really enjoy doing this, I can make this work for you. Okay. I'll do all the editing. I'll do all the sales. You just have to show up and shoot. They're like, okay, let's see where it goes. First year, I think we did 6 weddings. It was never meant to be very much. MJ took 3, my brother took 3. And, we would have been happy with that.
Yeah.
That was the first year. Second year, 46 weddings.
Wow.
We're like, what?
And there was split between them two, or you took someone yourself?
We took on a third shooter.
Oh, okay.
That second year. And this shooter, he actually, he was an Uncle Bob at a wedding.
Just like you.
Yeah. And he talked up my wife. He wouldn't leave my wife alone.
Aww.
And, but he's been with us ever since. That's Steve. He's been with us. Yeah, he's been with us ever since. And, yeah, we haven't been able to shake him. Steve, if you're listening, we love you so much. But in any case, he's part of our family. He's been with us for so long, Actually, a lot of our lead shooters, they've been with us for a very, very long time. We are like a family. Okay. That was our second year, 46 weddings. Third year, I think they shot up to like 80 weddings.
Wow.
With the same 3 shooters?
The same 3 shooters.
So they were doing like 25 a piece.
Just about.
Wow. Yeah,
25 a piece. Some of them were hitting 30s. And I was still shooting my 40, 50 weddings a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is a lot of work.
It's a lot of editing.
It's a lot of work. And I think that's around the time when we hired our first editor. Actually, once we hit 60, that was our threshold because we weren't sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
Karis and I were fighting all the time, right?
Oh,
Once we hit like 60, that was our threshold. Because we had a young family, we had a lot of things that we had to do as well. And the kids weren't sleeping for crying out loud.
That's a lot.
Actually, that's a lie. The kids slept because we didn't have a strict schedule with them. They fell asleep whenever they wanted to fall asleep. So like, hey, it's 11 o'clock at night, whatever. If you're up, you're up. Mom and dad's up, so you guys are up too.
Start teaching
in the morning.
Start teaching them all the Lightroom shortcuts.
Have the kids ever shown interest in the field?
No, but we always say, hey, listen, if you don't grow up to be like a doctor, lawyer, engineer, there's always photography, They're like, all right, we're going to figure it out, Mom and Dad.
You can definitely make just as much.
Well, we told them, I was like, listen, like if you want to come out with Mom and Dad on the weekends, you're going to be making so much money. They're like, why don't, like, money for what? Like, you give us money anyway to do stuff, right? And I'm like, no, that's not how it works. This is not forever, okay? Like, you're going to have to earn.
Once they get like legal age of working, and then they have to.
Yeah. So, but I think my oldest has shown an interest in working. He wants to make his money and stuff like that. So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I started working when I was 8, so I don't know about you guys. How old were you guys when you guys got your first job?
I was a senior in high school.
Lucky you.
Wow, you started late. I started probably like 13, 14.
13?
Yeah.
What was your first job?
I was a paper boy, and then I was a busboy at a restaurant.
Busboy, okay.
Yeah.
That was my first legal job. Busboy.
I was a teacher's assistant. Well, my school had a program where you can go to school 1 week and then work 1 week for your senior year of high school. So they would assign you to, I forgot what the name of the program was.
It's like an internship.
They would assign you a job, whether it be at a school, the court system.
Did you get paid?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So 1 week I would work in the school with kindergarten, and then 1 week I would go to actual school.
Did you guys ever hear about my first job? What my first job was?
No, you never told us.
Just imagine, this is New York City, 1988.
Take us back to the good years.
Chinatown, New York City.
When you were 8?
I was 8.
Oh wait, I think you did tell us about this.
Yeah.
Keep going.
All right. My parents, they would go out grocery shopping. My grandfather, he had a toy store in the middle of Chinatown. And he just wanted to keep me out of trouble. So he would give me a box of water gun. So what's going on back there, producer?
The producer making the noise.
Just making sure it claps.
Go to.
Ellie, come.
You just gonna hang out there? All right, we're just gonna hang out there. Okay, you have to stay. Okay, so moving along. So back in 1988, my grandfather had a toy store in the middle of Chinatown, and my parents would just leave me with my grandparents while they went out to do their grocery shopping. So in an effort to keep me and my brother out of trouble, my grandfather would give us a box of counterfeit toy guns. These, you remember Super Soakers back in the 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah, these were not the Super Soakers.
Regular soakers.
Well, I mean, they look like Super Soakers, right? So I was like, listen, Ben, I'm gonna pay you $1 for every gun that you sell. Right? So you got this little 8-year-old selling counterfeit Super Soakers in the middle of a Chinatown street. And, I think that they meant it as a joke. They didn't mean for me to sell anything. It was just to keep me out of trouble. I sold the whole box. I made $20 that day.
Nice.
And so I've been in sales ever since.
Selling fake goods.
It was like $5 for each unit. $5 a unit. Yo, I sold $100 worth of Super Soakers, yo. 8 years old, okay?
Counterfeit Super Soakers.
I've been in sales ever since. So there's that. So my first legal job, I was a busboy. I was a busboy at a retirement home. And the thing was, the rule there was that you're not allowed to accept any tips.
Oh, get out of here.
Because these are elderly and they might mistakenly give you, I don't know, $1,000 tip.
Oh, wow.
And you're not supposed to take that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would get these old ladies. Damn it, producer.
You're doing it to yourself, Dirty.
So I would have these old ladies that would come up to me. It's like, hey, Ben, come over here. And they would sneak some candy into my pouch. It's like, I know you're not allowed to get money, but here's some candy, right?
When they give you some halls?
No, that began my love for butterscotch candy. I love
some
Werther's.
licorice.
Yeah, no, not licorice. These are the Werther's. These are the good shit.
The elderly candy.
Yeah. So yeah, that I started off as a busboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was I hated that job. It was terrible. I got fired from that job as well. But yeah.
Why'd you get fired?
It was a lot of stuff. First of all, I was 14. I shouldn't have been working there anyway. But there was a waitress that just hated my guts for no reason. And she was just looking for any excuse to, get me fired. And I gave her that excuse by spilling hot water on her.
Did you do it on purpose?
No, it was an accident. And she took it as intentional and notified the owner. And that was it. And the same night that they fired me, it was the most money I made working there during that day.
Oh, you got tips?
Yeah, so the bar tipped out the busboys a certain percentage. The wait staff also gave us a certain percentage, and then sometimes the regulars would give a couple of bucks.
A little extra.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't get any tips. I was paid, what I was paid? $3.15 an hour.
Wow.
Big bucks.
Well, I'm also very old. That was the minimum wage back then. And I think that when I left that job, I think it was a whopping $4.15 an hour, something like that. It was ridiculous.
We should definitely.
After taxes, I think I came home with maybe $2.50 per hour.
Oh my gosh.
And I thought I was crushing it. I would. By the way, I was a delinquent, so I would take my earnings. Buy my cigarettes. 14-year-old smoking my Newport lights and stuff. I was a ladies' man. 14 years old.
14 years old smoking.
Say, come over here. My name is Ben.
You want to buy a Super Soaker?
All right, we spoke about the associate brand. A big thing we want to hear your take on is how you and Karis juggle running a business and being parents.
I think we're very lucky in the way that we have help. I don't think we give enough credit to Karis's parents who help us watch the kids every weekend. Because I don't know how other husband and wife teams make it if they have children.
Right.
This whole business of ours, right, would not be possible without her parents.
Yeah, it's the weekends. That's where weekend warriors.
Exactly, because most of our work happens on the weekends. You know what I mean? During the week, we can drive them to school, pick them up or whatever, right? But on the weekends, how do you juggle that?
Right.
So we have help. That's the secret, right? For other folks who have kids out there, I guess they'll either have to find a sitter or figure something out. You know what I mean? Like that's the tough part.
Yeah. Especially when you commit to a wedding. I mean, it's easier and hard because you're committing to dates way out, but
So you
also
kinda
they are
know.
weekends.
You can make plans for it. You
Yeah.
can make plans for it. You know, make arrangements, babysitting arrangements and stuff. But I mean, that can add up too. You know what I mean? And also, you don't want your kids to be a burden.
Just drop them off.
Drop them off somewhere.
Here you go.
Right?
We'll be back.
Not to say that they aren't a burden to my in-laws, you know, but they are a big part of why we're able to have what we have today.
And that's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, as far as juggling is concerned, we have pretty strict schedules, I guess, you know, just to make sure that we do all the stuff that we're supposed to do, you know, that we have to do. For instance, I think a couple of years ago, pre-COVID, our kids were on track and we knew the track meets were on Fridays every summer. So I just didn't take any Friday weddings for the entire months of May and June.
Mm-hmm.
We just planned that ahead of time.
And you guys block out too, like time for vacations, like
You know we
months.
do.
Yeah, I know you guys have your 2 weeks vacations.
That was like a month.
It's a month. Yeah, we take nice vacations. I think one of the videographers, our mutual friends, they were like, Ben and Karis, you guys are the only people I know that take a vacation in the middle of wedding season. It's like, what are you guys thinking? Honestly, I think I would be okay not shooting July weddings. It's so hot.
It's so hot.
Yeah.
The less we can do,
So
the better.
if I'm going to be hot, I would like to be shirtless. You know.
Where are you guys going on vacation this July?
Oh, I know where we're going. We are. There's going to be a week that we're spending in Orlando. We have some friends visiting from out of town, and they just wanted to go to Orlando. I was like, all right, cool. Well, they have a timeshare down there. So
Are you guys going to Disney?
We're not Disney people.
Oh my God.
That's
I think your father was very disappointed too.
No other reason to go to Orlando.
No, that's not true. We went to the Monster Jams Championship in 2018.
Gosh.
32 cars jumping through rings of fire.
You could do that in New Jersey.
No, we can't. No, you
Isn't
can't.
Monster Drop did
always
here
wanted to
yet?
go.
No.
Yes.
There's only 8 trucks. You go to the Prudential Center, there's only 8 trucks. When you go down to Orlando to championships, there's like 36 fucking trucks. All right. And you got the entire arena. The Prudential, listen, not to poo-poo on Prudential, it's really big, but you can only fit 8 trucks in there, right? This is like a big ass stadium with 36 trucks. Okay. Bigfoot. El Toro Loco.
How does it work? Do they just crush cars like the whole time? Okay. I mean,
And that's better than Disney?
Fuck yeah.
No! Cancel the podcast. No longer friends.
There's not, well, all right. Up until recently, there wasn't really much for boys in Disney.
yeah. Mhm.
Okay. I mean,
True.
I would say that Mickey and Goofy and them and the gang, you know, they're pretty gender neutral, right? But then, you know, you have, not to say that boys can't have fun with princesses and stuff, right? But like, that's not just that kind of stuff that didn't really appeal to my boys.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they have Cars, which is cool, but I don't think they have too many Cars characters out and about.
No. Well, now they have the
if you go to Disneyland in California,
California.
they have the actual cars like rolling around and talking and stuff. Like,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
yeah, that's amazing.
But there were 2 characters that really like, okay, this is who we need to take a picture with. The first one was, you guys remember Big Hero 6? The
Yeah.
big marshmallow robot?
Right.
So we took a picture with him. That was a pretty big deal, right? And the other one was Russell from Up, the little kid, the little Asian kid.
The Ro was in for Halloween one time.
We got to take a picture with all the Asian characters, right? For obvious reasons. So,
Baymax, someone Baymax.
Yeah,
Baymax, yeah. But our boys they actually enjoyed Universal a lot more because that's
Yeah.
where Harry Potter was. So we're big Potter heads over
Yeah.
here. This is a big Potterhead family.
Potheads or Potterheads?
Potterheads. We'll save that conversation for a different podcast. Yeah.
Well, let's get you guys make time to
Yeah,
go
so we're
somewhere.
going to Orlando, and then so that's sandwiched between our normal vacation time. So we might go somewhere before and then somewhere after. So I think before we're going to go to Mexico
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
What
for
part?
like
What
the
part?
7th, 8th time in a
So
row.
you go there all the time.
I remember.
Are you going to go harass Fur again?
We always do.
I forgot what Karis was saying that that it's hard to find places to go to during like those months. Oh no, everything was booked up.
But for spring break. But the
Spring
summer
break.
should be okay. And the
So
summer
we
should
did
be
a
better.
staycation instead. So
Okay.
we where did we go? We went to American Dream. That's what we did.
Nice. Did you go
It's
skiing?
the big vacation.
Did you go
Those
skiing?
are- no, we did not go skiing. I think we did 2 escape rooms. I think, no, not even there. No, we didn't do escape room there. We did escape room over at Bellworks.
Bellworks, yeah.
But what did we do? We had a Mr. Beast burger and, we did mini golf. That was our staycation. What a lame spring break.
Should have went camping.
the boys and I, we love camping, but Karis is not. She likes to go glamping.
Yeah.
Cabin style, like
it was basically like.
Well, she likes the getaway houses, no?
Yeah.
Like that.
yeah,
That's
those
fancy.
Those are nice.
It's not fancy.
It's overpriced. It's trailer.
It is overpriced. There's cabins that you can rent that, but like they're not as like cozy as the getaway houses, but you kind of have that.
I don't know. It's just like bougie camping to me.
It is.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't mind roughing it. Like just build a fire, roast some marshmallows over an open
I
campfire.
like both. I don't mind doing both.
Yeah.
Different times.
Yeah. So we're gonna Mexico the week before probably, and then after that, we haven't decided yet. We'd like to take the boys back to Europe again. I don't know. We'll see. Because I'm spending a lot of money on a lot of things this year. So we got to see how because the way that my bank account is set up, right? My checking account is set up, right?
They're just gonna go to another escape room.
It might be time to start making another round to get a bank loan.
I don't want their money anymore. I don't want their money. They after I started making money in the business, because I used to go to the bank with my checks and stuff. Like, oh, Mr. Lau, welcome back, blah blah blah. Fuck you. You didn't get
Mr. Lau, you're pre-approved.
Yeah. Would you like a loan for? I was like, I don't need your money anymore. The worst thing about business loans is that there's a saying that you first have to prove to the bank that you don't need the money, right? Like if I had good credit and I had $100,000 in cash, why would I need to borrow money?
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, they're always asking me if I want a business loan. I was like, no, leave me alone. Screw you guys, all of you.
Now that you don't need a business loan, our last question is, what are you most proud of in your business? And what are your next goals?
What I am most proud of is my wife. That she...
Oh, so sweet.
That she finally launched her own brand in the middle of the pandemic, and she's just fucking crushing it. That was my proudest moment. In the 13 years that we've been doing this, that was my proudest moment. I don't know if it's her proudest moment, but it's certainly my proudest moment. I'm like, get it. This is yours. You earned this. This has always been yours. Now you can claim it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because for 12 years, she had been working. I wouldn't like to say that I cast a huge shadow, but the thing is,
the name, the branding.
The branding was always under my name. But for anyone who's ever worked with us, they always knew that she was a big part of that brand.
Right.
You know what I mean? They knew because she answered all the emails, she did all the editing, she did all the album design, she did all that stuff. She was a big integral part in our business. It's just that her name was never on the branding because we were starting a family around the same time we were starting a business. We didn't want people to be like, well, we hired Ben and Karis. Why is Karis not here? I want a refund. We didn't want to put ourselves in that situation. So that's why it was always been Ben Lau. If you get Karis, it's a bonus. You know what I mean? So when she launched her own brand in the middle of the pandemic, that was my proudest moment because like not only did she do it, she like just fucking crushed it.
Yeah, in the middle of the pandemic, which was crazy.
What was the reasoning on her starting her own brand?
Well, it was long overdue, number one. Long overdue. We were just waiting for the right time, the right opportunity to do it. When you're running a business, you're just putting your head down and working. You don't really think about these things. You're just working and working and working, right? And you get too busy and the time just flies by. As you guys know, and I think a lot of our listeners probably also know that, during the pandemic, you had like reschedules left and right. And in 2020, we had 100 weddings on the books. We had 100 weddings that needed to be rescheduled.
Wow.
And most of those clients were playing nice and they would consult with us before they rescheduled for new dates. But I don't know about you guys, but
yeah, some who didn't.
Some didn't. They were like, hey, Ben.
Some knuckleheads.
Yeah, I rebooked my venue for this date. Are you available? I was like, you didn't even consult with me. I'm not available for that date. They're like, all right, can I get a refund? I was like, no, my wife can shoot your wedding. We're just going to pretend I died, okay? And that contingency kicks in.
Ben who?
Right? They're like, well, we're not sure if Karis can do the job. And that infuriated me. It hurt. Karis will never admit it, right? But I would imagine if I were her, my feelings would be hurt a little bit because, if I were a photographer for 10 years at that point, a professional photographer who did good work, produced amazing work, and there's a client here who's doubting my abilities, my capabilities, right? That's got to hurt a little bit, right? So I was like, fuck it, we are going to make this right. We're going to right this wrong. It took us 12 years to do it, but it was long overdue. It's something that we needed to have done. So she launched her brand, I want to say June 2020, 21?
Yeah, it was early on, for
something like that. She booked 3 weddings in the first 2 weeks.
Nice.
That year, she booked 20 weddings.
That's awesome.
They were elopements, backyard weddings, or whatever it was, right? 20 weddings.
Right. That's great.
And she's booking her ideal clients. You know what? I don't know if you guys know this. Karis charges more than I do. Her rate is higher than mine.
Karis is like, like, I'm leaving. I'm charging my worth.
She definitely has built in the parking into the package.
It's like I've been doing this for 13 years, right? She's been doing it for as long as I have, right? But like 2 years in, I guess 3 years in at this point, right?
Yeah, wow, it's crazy.
Right? Her rate is higher than mine. And she doesn't even shoot 10 hours. She's like, I'm shooting 8-hour weddings. I'm not doing these 10-hour things. I'll do it if they want it, but I'm going to start at 8 hours now, right? So I was like, okay, whatever.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
she's doing it on her own terms.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
That's important. So that was my proudest moment. And the future for us, I don't know how many more miles we have left on these tires. We're very grateful for the many years of work that we've been able to get. But we know that this is not going to last forever.
Yeah.
Right. Our bodies can't take it.
God willing, I'll be doing this for as long as my body can do it and as long as I'm still relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say that, hey, listen, I'm going to stop in 5 years or 10 years. If my clients out there believe that I'm still relevant and they still enjoy my work, I'll take it. If they have confidence that I can produce the kind of work that they love, who am I to say like, no?
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. If I can do it, I'll do it. But with that being said, I definitely can't shoot the pace that I've been shooting for the last 12 years.
Yeah.
I was shooting at a pace about 40, 50 weddings a year. And that's not sustainable long term. At least because I already feel it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
These bones are getting old.
Yeah, listen,
I got to make noises when I bend over. And
like you bend down, you get up and you hit cracks.
I feel a little dizzy, But God willing, I'll do this for as long as I can. However, I'm not naive. So I have to make plans for what my next steps are going to be. So at the moment, and I think a lot of these listeners know already, I do have an educational brand that I started during COVID. And for better or worse, it's been working out. I have a captive audience. I'm not negative. I'm not going negative. I am spending a lot of money, but I'm not going negative, right? And I'm getting people's results. Because the thing is, one of the biggest, I wouldn't say regrets, right? But one of the biggest disappointments that I've had in my career was that I wasn't able to get any help, even though I wanted to get some help.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was like for you guys, but
it was similar. We went head first and we didn't seek out help or we didn't network for years.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things that I regret actually, not putting myself out there and joining groups and getting to know other photographers early on.
Yeah. When we put our head up, just get some fresh air, because we had been putting our head down and just working for like 6 years. When we put our head up and they're like, all right, let's go meet other people and see what's up. Somehow you guys came into our lives that year around that same time. But yeah, early on, we did try to connect with veteran photographers.
Yeah. To
maybe shadow them, learn from them, or maybe have them give us advice or something like that. None of them went along with that plan. They wouldn't give me the time of day. They just
that's that old school mentality of like not sharing secrets and like
the competition aspect.
Yeah, that you're basically grooming your competition. And with all with what I feel like what I call our generation, we all help each other because we have the mentality of like if we all do it the same way, we can all charge more money. We can all,
Would you say we're better together?
That's right. Yeah, we are. And even today, like there's people that I know that have been doing this for decades, and I'll ask them sometimes, like, hey, how come you're not an educator? And they'll just simply say, why would I show my secrets to my competitors? And I'm just like, you're not. You can give me a recipe, doesn't mean I'm gonna cook the same.
Right.
But that's their mentality.
But you know what? All that information, that stuff is, you can Google that stuff. And I tell all my students this stuff. I listen, the value that you get from me is not in the information that I'm going to teach you. You can Google that shit. Mm-hmm. All right. It might take you a little while to Google all of it. I'm just condensing it and everything for you. Right. But the value in what I bring to the table is really just coming down from my experience and maybe diagnose your problem and maybe give you a more custom game plan that suits you a little bit better. You know what I mean? Because I think sometimes when you Google stuff on the internet, it doesn't really work out well for you because maybe that kind of marketing plan it's not fit. Yeah. It's not a good fit for your style.
Some people are more hands-on.
So anyway, so this is my long way of saying, I guess my golden parachute to all of this is maybe elevate the community a little bit, provide the help to newcomers into the market, the help that I wasn't afforded when I was first starting out. If I'm able to accomplish this in 13 years, doing it the hard way, can you imagine what people can accomplish if they get all the shortcuts?
Yeah,
for
do
sure.
it a lot quicker.
It helps it helps entire industry.
Yeah. And I think we've all reached a point where you're like, what's next? Because your business is successful, you're making money, and then you're like, what do we do now? And there's a point of like, let's help, let's give back, let's
this is my
share
way
the wealth of the knowledge that we have.
You hit on a very important point as far as like why I'm doing this. You know, this is my way of giving back. Because just to bring it full circle, you know, I remember where I came from.
Yeah.
You know, working at a chicken factory for $500 a week. You know, that's what I'm charging for my hour, like my overtime now. Yeah. Actually, no, I think Karis charges a little bit more than that, right? But in any case, like I remember where I came from, all the struggles that I had to go through to get to where I am today. This career has provided for my family so much. This is me giving back to that community.
Let's change your life.
Exactly. Otherwise, I'd still be working at a chicken factory doing street parking.
Awesome. That's a good full circle ending right there, right?
Doesn't this conversation make you want to focus AF?
Yes.
I'm focused AF right now.
We are focused AF.
Focus AF. Okay.
So now that we come full circle with your sales and marketing courses and your education platform, what else are you working on now?
So, good question. I'm so glad you asked. This is something that Karis and I have been working on for, I want to say at least 5 years. I don't know if you guys know this, but you know, Karis and I, we do travel around the world, attend workshops, and this is kind of our way of kind of seeing how other people do things, kind of just gathering other flavors from around the world, bring that inspiration back to our own work. But in any case, what we were exposed to overseas were these very intimate workshops. And when I say intimate, we're talking about a couple hundred. You know, a lot of the workshops that we've attended here in the United States, they've been numbering the
couple thousands, yeah.
Right? These are much more intimate, right? So I imagine there's probably other workshops that are similar in that way, maybe 100, 200 people. We haven't attended them yet.
I haven't either.
Yeah. We wanted to have that type of learning environment. We wanted to produce something like that for our home base. Because I imagine there's a lot of them in the city. There's a lot of, like when I say the city, I mean New York City. I imagine there might even be some in Philadelphia or LA or whatever, but there really isn't too much of that going on in New Jersey. Not that I'm aware of anyway. So in a way of me giving back to the community, my wife and I, we thought that we might put together a conference of sorts for our home audience in New Jersey. I don't know how much I want to share at the moment, but that is something in the works. Right now, we are in the middle of the planning stage. Actually, I think I'm putting down the deposit later on this week. So it's happening, whether I'm ready for it or not, it's happening. This is super duper exciting for us.
That sounds awesome.
It's something that we've been working on for about 5-6 years now. Yeah. And to give you a little idea of what we have in mind, the one big issue that we found with a lot of workshops out there, or even seminars and things like that, a lot of them sell on inspiration and motivation. One of my good friends, they call it hustle porn, so to speak. So basically, you're just teaching people, or actually, you're not even teaching people, you're just getting them all riled up with all this excitement and energy. And then they go home with all this energy and there's really nothing actionable. There's nothing that they can do to channel this energy, right? Yeah. They're just like, yeah, I'm going to go out there and kick ass, but like, there's no roadmap.
Then their next wedding's a month away.
So, and I'm also the firm believer that, you know, you could be a great photographer in a lot of these workshops. They're really great creative workshops to teach you how to shoot. That is also a very important component in being successful. However, you know, just being great at your craft is not good enough. You need to be able to run a successful business. Yep. You need to be, very effective at selling and marketing and all that good stuff, right? So that is going to be the crux of the conference that we're planning. It's going to be very business focused and we have a great lineup of speakers.
Yeah. And I think it's important too, aside from the speakers, that people realize it's not you're coming to learn technical skills or how to shoot this, how to do that, because there's a million of those conferences and people will spend thousands of dollars going to these conferences and it does nothing for their business. So I think people need to kind of take a step back and realize I need to do a business workshop or learn a little bit more of the business side so that I can actually grow my business and keep doing what I love.
Right.
I think a lot of photographers focus too much on the technical stuff and don't really wrap their head around actually how to run a business. And
when they say technical, you mean like the creative technical stuff.
Side, yeah.
Right, like OCF and like how to pose, you know, all that. Listen, all that stuff's very important, but you can learn how to do all that stuff and not have a successful business.
Right. Oh yeah. I've met numerous people. They'll blow you away with their images, but they can't book weddings. You know,
I think we have some mutual friends who fit that description.
Yes.
I think, but even then, right? Even with all that information, and I think our good friend Esteban said this, you know, like you can have all this information, but it's meaningless unless you implement it.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
And I think that's a struggle too. And I guess that's where the motivation and the mindset and the hustle porn, that's where that comes in. But there are so many workshops that sell that. And I think at least my target audience, they are ready for something else. They want to learn something that they can implement into the business. They don't need to be motivated. I think that's the larger theme here that I'm working with here. You know, like the people that I want to work with, or the people that I want to educate, they don't need to be told that they need to hustle, they need to work harder. They already got that stuff. They can work hard. They know that they can work hard. They just need a roadmap. They just need someone who's been where they are and they're standing where they want to be, and they just want to get the instruction manual to get there.
Yeah. So speaking of hustle and grind and all the crazy things that you have to do to start your business, let's lean into our hot topic of the day, which we saw on Facebook today, which was a post in a local photo booth group where someone posted that they do not agree in paying to make money. And by that means they didn't want to pay into a bridal show, $500, $600, whatever it is, to only book 3 events.
So grateful.
That's a pretty good ROI if you ask me.
So I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on that.
There's no free lunch.
I feel like it's definitely a good ROI. I mean, me and Jen did bridal shows, and there would be some that were duds and some that where we booked. It's not. I think it goes back to people wanted to be spoon fed. They expect to.
They want a free lunch.
Yeah, pay $600, and like, how many do you want to book? 10? Like, come on.
Well, I mean, 10 would be pretty nice.
Yeah, but like, come on, let's be reasonable here. If it's a bridal next,
and you got 6 other competitors doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Possibly, yes. Come on, like, you know, if you're starting your business, any booking counts.
As long as you're not going
1 or
negative.
3,
As long as you're not going negative. And even if you go negative, you come out there with nothing, like monetarily wise, right? Financially wise, you come out with knowledge, you come out with wisdom, experience. That in itself is worth something.
And you'll break even with just 1 booking.
And even what we had talked about earlier, bigger picture, is that you might book 3, but one of those 3 might bring you 20 events from their network. So at that point, you're making $30,000, $40,000.
Yeah.
And your 600 is nothing compared to that. I mean, our first bridal show, I think we paid that same amount, like $600. It was in the College of Staten Island. We met one bride. She booked us. We did her wedding. And now we've done her friends of friends, her family.
She's gotten
family
so much
family.
work.
We're still doing one of their close networks weddings in June. And it's been 7 years. Mm-hmm. So I would say she's brought us a good amount of money in the past 7 years. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't say those bridal shows are not worth it, or paying to play is not worth it. When at the end of the day, you can expand your network and make even more money.
Yeah. I mean, you did lose $18 crossing the Verrazano.
No, we were living in Staten Island. So it cost us nothing. And, it turned out well. And, you know, I remember when we met with her, she was going back and forth with another photographer and comparing our prices. She took a chance on us because we weren't that new, but we were still, you know, building our business. And man, like what she did for us, like what she's done for us through referrals has just been a huge game changer for us. You know, she took a chance on us and it paid over so many times. It's like a well that just doesn't dry up.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just focus on the little money and then they lose out on the opportunity for big money. Now, I'm not saying that you guys should go out there and work for exposure. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
You know, but listen, if you're going to be sitting at home with a thumb of your ass, not making any money on a Saturday, you know, a Saturday coming up, you know, you might as well make a couple $100.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not losing anything by doing that. You know what I mean? And I think that's what I mean when I say, you know, some people's egos get in the way of their own success.
I guess they aren't focused AF.
They're not focused.
They focus on the wrong things. That's what it is.
And the nerve to say, I'm not going to spend X amount and only book 3 weddings.
You made your money back.
Yeah, some nerve.
Yeah, I think I made this point earlier. You know, even if you break even, that's fine. Even if you lose money, it's still knowledge and experience is still worth something.
Yeah.
And that's one more person that could possibly shout your name to their network.
Yeah, but ideally, you don't want to go negative. Okay, you want to break even at least.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't think I've ever left empty-handed from a trade show. I've always booked at least one thing.
Yeah,
you know?
And it's a good learning experience, like you said. I always say I want to try everything at least one time, and if it doesn't earn me anything, that's fine. At least I tried it.
I tried everything at least twice. The first one might have been a fluke. You never know.
You just want to make sure.
You just want to make sure that it wasn't my fuck up. You know what I mean? Like for instance, the couple that I just met with earlier this evening, she was couple number 3 from a trade show that we did recently.
Nice.
Paid $400. You wouldn't pay $400 to make $10,000 bucks.
Right.
This is before IPS. All right. I would do that. I would make that trade every single day, twice on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'll take that deal.
It's an easy deal.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I shouldn't pay money to make leads. Listen, if you're paying for a subscription to the Knot, the Wedding Wire, right? You're paying for Google ads or Facebook ads. You're paying for leads.
Yeah.
All right. What's the difference with paying money to go to a trade show? At least for me, I know that's like sure money. You know what I mean? For me, at least, because I know I'm not leaving empty-handed.
So I guess what we've learned from this episode is that Ben Lau is very focused AF.
Most of the times, I'm focused AF.
I definitely agree that he's focused AF.
Yeah, with a lot of hustle and drive, and this is where he's at, and we can't wait to see what you come up with next.
Big risk taker. One kid on the way. I'm leaving my job.
He took a bet and look, it worked out.
Yeah, I was gonna lose that bet. I don't play to lose.
Yeah,
I don't play to lose. You know,
Karis would have killed you.
So if you guys enjoy this show, I would welcome you guys. I would invite you guys over to check out maybe some of our bloopers.
Yes.
Some of our behind the scenes
we
stuff.
have a couple.
You guys, you can find all that stuff over at focus.af
On Instagram.
On Instagram.
And you can find our podcast on...
As far as I'm concerned, I think we're on Spotify.
There we go. Which is what you're listening to right now. So
yeah,
there you go.
You can find us on Spotify and Spotify.
Perfect. See you next time.
Thank you guys all so much for listening. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Adios.